So have a look at this. About to do a trauma dump, whatever you want to call it. This is bound to be interesting. So, you wanted something that was me. Something that I wanted to say. Well, this is my story. So, I have a background in music. I was like performing at 12 years old and made quite the spectacle at an early age. But after my faulty career, I pissed a lot of people off just by being a kid, just by being wild, just by exploring. So I turned to drugs. And cocaine was the thing that did my mind in, where I had this like wild experience by like getting my state of emergency raised to such a level by people that wanted to live inside of my head. My story is this, that I made a bad name for myself in my city. And I basically became the asshole that you could shit on. Everybody didn't have no qualms about neglecting or selling my information. I was the 101 in the city. So, at 16 years old, I just had my first girlfriend and I think I was doing okay, but then I heard this rap lyric. Like, at my school, I was like recommended this new music from this guy. And it went really deep. Some of it was actually pretty beautiful and good, but he made sure to stick the knife in at the bottom of society, at the ones who was forgotten. And at 16 years old, I turned to psychiatry to tell them I just had this like weird feeling that he was talking about me. And they kept me in there for months and months, almost a whole year in 2 sections. And I didn't even bring it up with them. They just told me I'm a schizophrenic and you think the TV talks to you, you know. But here's my bit. When you have such a life that I lived as a young one, you are bound to have the feeling that people are talking about you. And what they don't tell you about schizophrenia is that it's also like very known in office settings. When a person is left out of the group, he sees signs that something has happened that he isn't being informed about. And if he turns to psychiatry, they will also say, hey, you're experiencing things that we can't prove. You're schizophrenic. So what's really hitting my head, you know, is that I only had one guy really stand up to me and really tell me like what I needed to hear. And that took like 12 years or something until I met him. From that point, I was 28 or something when I met him. And he basically said this. And this was before it was like in series and used in Hollywood. It was like, in Denmark, a lot of people tends to like want to live inside of your head because they can't stand to be in their own. And they don't really give a fuck about you, so they live in your head for free. And then he turns to me and he says, well, now it's time these motherfuckers, they pay rent. And that just hit the spot, man. That's been my like go-to thing with all of these people trying to like force their way into my head and just showcasing that they have nothing to offer, they have nothing of value, only money. We'll get to that. But here's what I have to say. These people that are talking to, like, singing songs about the ones, the forgotten ones, the left ones, What this person did, in my case, was that he left a snippet of like a fingerprint at the crime scene. His timeline of the lyrics and the droppings, everything, it followed my life and went into personal situations and just like, not made fun of it, but try to make it beautiful or something. Try to make my most weak points just exposed. And what psychiatry should have told me back then is that people tend to make lyrics about like things that go very close to your soul. You know, they tend to do that. That's what I should have heard back then. So I would like get it, not be like all overwhelmed. But I sat in there for a year. And then I had this girlfriend of mine from the psychiatry who like snuck her way into my life. And she just began setting me up, like really do the damage, like everything you could like possibly imagine. She did it, and I was 17, 18 years old. And she ended it off with a bang. Like laying there in my bed after having sex with her and her asking me to sleep naked. I woke up with a needle in my neck, just passing the fuck out. And then all the lyrics turns to like, oh, you won't realize what we have taken from you. Mom and Dad won't know. And it's pretty cool at that point, you know, they're pretty like naughty in a cool sense almost, but they just upscaled. It became closer and closer. And then I really got sick after being on the pills and then stopping with them because I couldn't afford it. Then I got real sick, and I just thought that everybody was singing about me. I just thought the whole world was after me, man. And I also got people on my side, and don't get me wrong, you know, it's beautiful that way. It's like all of these lyrics really tend to hit the spot with people like me, people like us. But all I know is that all of these lyrics go close and stuff like that. But this guy, he left fingerprints. He did it so, it was so obvious to me that he was just having fun at my name, fun at my cost. And then it gets real wild. I stopped smoking weed. That was a bad idea. And it made it all go very fast. So I looked around, and the only guy contacting me was a communal worker that really wanted to help me. But he was like very fresh in the mouth and was saying all kinds of shit, and I fucked up. I misunderstood everything and thought he was the leader of some conspiracy, or it was my job to kill him or whatever. But I did. And then all of these lyrics, they take another like tune. They get another tune. So it's all like, oh, I can relate to you now. Oh, I'm like you. We are both the same when it comes to the cool thing of being a killer. And fast forward like 5 years or something, this guy is like making all of the cool little lines and making him seem really cool and saying he's not scared of anything, you know. He's not scared at all, nothing, and he wants to die. I can't relate to that, you know. Yeah, he writes this lyric, and he's basically takes credit of putting somebody in a situation where they got a sentence for violence. And that's where it became so obvious to me that he's just in it to look cool, you know? It wouldn't look so cool if you took like the real burden and actually explained to people what you did, what you made me do, by just like putting all the shit of the world on me and leaving it at my home, at my doorstep. So I knew that I had to do something. So yeah. But this video doesn't go out to you. I just hope you see it because I'm coming for you. I'm gonna get your money or something. I hear from my cousin that you're sad, that you basically said something along the lines of that media was like provoking you to make these things and everything. I hear everything from my cousin, you know. He's in the same circle as you. Not as high tier though. Yeah, fuck you guy. So you're sorry now, huh? You're sorry. Be sorry. No. This video goes out to Ingi, my Icelandic friend who stood up to me and actually told me what I needed to hear. He was one of the good ones. That's a pretty high fucking class of people, motherfucker. And he's the only one who threatened me 6 years ago and actually could like contain himself while he said it. You know, all these other guys, they shake. Yeah, so Ingi said that he would be back for me in 6 years. And I hope it's a good meeting. I hope I won't get killed. And I'm sure I'm going to make him proud with this thing I'm doing now. Because without him, I don't know what the fuck I'd do. There was nobody who could come up to par. Nobody could. So, to the rap guy, you think you still look cool? Can you hear the lyrics of the world like turning on you now? Can you hear your own voice in your head? You've been speaking to yourself like almost all the time, and you've been trying to find like a reason that you're different than me. Well, you are. Because you talk a lot. You know, I'm not like the one to make threats. But this rap guy, I'm gonna have a talk with him alone in a room where we're gonna settle this. And I'm gonna send something Ingi's way